I hope for them to come to their senses, for my granddaughter to remain safe.
She's an American. She's not a Mexican. She didn't come from Mexico. She's never lived there. She doesn't even know she's not coming home.
Keep my granddaughter here. That's all I'm asking, is that they keep her here.
Despite her grandmother's desperate pleas, a 6-year-old girl is now at the center of an international custody dispute. An Oregon court decided it would be best to send that little girl to live with her biological father in Mexico. Here's the thing. He's an ex-con, convicted of assault and deported after being released from prison. Her mother is a recovering drug addict. The little girl lived with her father until he was sent to prison and currently lives in foster care. The girl's father says she belongs with me. He says he can provide a stable home and schooling, but once she is there, it will be up to the Mexican authorities to monitor her safety and well-being. Joining me now, Judge Alex Ferrer, host of Judge Alex, criminal defense attorney is back, Philip Holloway. Judge, I'll start with you on this. When you see the pleading grandmother, your heart breaks.
Yes.
What do you think is behind the judge's decision, considering this guy's an ex-con?
Well, hard to say because I didn't see the evidence the judge heard, but obviously the judges are always focused on the best interest of the child. And unfortunately, I've been in family court, and unfortunately, a lot of times you look at the father and you look at the mother, you look at the family members, and you think...
You've got to pick the best of the worst.
And you think to yourself, this child would be better off raised by wolves than by any of these people. And you don't have a lot of choice. Now, typically, he's the biological father. That usually weighs a lot in his favor. But he's a convicted felon who went to prison, was deported as a result. I looked up the charges. I don't know which ones he was convicted of, but there were charges like strangulation, category 4 assault. There were serious charges. I don't know which ones he pled to or was convicted of. But, you know, you tend to believe there's got to be a foster family who would be better than taking the child, shipping her to another country where she's never lived, to a father who was deported after being released from prison.
And
like I said, though, I didn't hear the evidence that the judge heard.
A foster family that would probably love to have this little girl. Philip, I've read that the Mexican authorities will check in every 6 months on this little girl. Do you think that will happen in your experience as an attorney? Does it happen? Do they follow up with these kids?
Well, with Mexico, you can only hope. There's not a lot that can be done to ensure what another country might do because it's kind of out of the state's hands once the child goes to Mexico. But I disagree with Judge Alex just a little bit. Foster care stinks. It really does. And meth addicts oftentimes don't recover. And being shipped from one foster home to another over this child's life is probably not what's best for her. And the judge has to decide what's in her best interest. The little girl loves her father, as she said, and she wants to go live with him, as she said. So I think under the circumstances, the judge had to probably pick the choice that was the least bad.
Yeah,
I do.
Sense. I think it's a tough spot. We can all agree with the judge. A 6-year-old girl is going to love her father no matter what. But
the one thing we will disagree on, I agree that there are some foster parents who are not ideal, but there are some foster parents who are amazing and do a great job. I just would hesitate as a judge to ship a 6-year-old out of the country to a totally different country, to a father who you already know is a convicted felon. I mean, there's got to be other better choices in a country like the United States of America.
Can her mom's mom, the grandmother, go visit her now? Does she have any rights?
Well, it depends on it depends on the country. In Mexico, I can't say that they would necessarily honor grandparent rights. There are many states in the U.S. that say, no, I'm sorry, the parents have rights, and they decide who gets to visit, not the grandparents.
Yeah, that's correct. Grandparents, typically, their rights take a back seat to the rights of biological parents. Now, I will say this. They did a home study. The man works 2 jobs. He has extended family down there. All of those people have pledged to help take care of this child and to help raise her. So we can only hope that the judge made the right call and that the child will be well.
Can this change quickly if the mom gets better? Can we see the child back with the mom?
I don't know. It depends on what the options are. If the father's doing a good job and the father is a good parenting option, he may be a much better choice than a mother who is a meth addict and prone to relapse.
We're all agreeing that we're pulling for this little girl and hope that it certainly works out somewhere, somehow. Appreciate it. Thanks so much.